All right, everybody knows what day it is. It is hashtag Friday Pie Day. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Let me know if the stream is laggy. For whatever reason, on my screen, it looks kind of laggy, but I feel like it's not. Some weird stuff's happening with my computer right now. Maybe even my internet. Looks like my internet's good for the most part. Yeah, I've been having some technical difficulties lately. But yeah, in any case, it is hashtag Friday Pie Day. So everybody that showed up, I appreciate you. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, and then boom, baby, bang on the notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Richard 4 here, he said, I'm glad to be here, man. It's hashtag Friday Pie Day. He said happy Pie Day to everyone. Man, I'm just ready to get some pizza. I'm hungry. The wolf is hungry. He wants to eat. He wants to go and hunt and eat. So with that being said, we got some crazy stuff going on in the markets right now. People are thinking ETH is going to go to like $1,200. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I can't call it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Well, we're going to look at ETH and see if some of these people are correct. Correctamundo or woo. Actually, I just pulled it up. We might not want to look at it. I'm just playing. So we're going to look at it. In any case, there's a lot of bearish sentiment around ETH right now, right? And there's quite a few reasons why they're saying these things. So let's just go ahead and do my handy dandy, nice little transition, right? So the percentage of Ethereum holdings on centralized exchanges are nearing all-time lows. Is this a bullish signal or is this a bearish signal? Well, let's see what they say. So Glassnode says that they showed that the percentage of ETH held on centralized exchanges had dropped by 14%, nearing its all-time low. That's not awesome. That's not awesome because why would it drop? Okay, it means people aren't trading. Santiment also reported that Ethereum supply on exchanges dropped by 9 million ETH. Its lowest in nearly 10 years, basically since inception. ETH got brought out in what, 2013, 2014, something like that? Or maybe it was 2012. I don't remember. The analytics firm argued that DeFi and staking options likely made the virtual asset scarce on exchanges. Okay, so that's a good take. I like that. That's a hot take. They're saying that a lot of people are staking it. People like Wolfer Finance, right? We don't have our ETH on exchanges. We have it locked up in validator nodes. So that could be helpful, right? But look at this. Look at this chart. Bam, right? Drop the bottom out of those centralized exchange holdings. That's pretty crazy, man. Back in May of 2020, we had 23 million ETH on the exchanges, right? And now it's at 18 mil. Not even. That was a year later. What's it at now? 9 mil? That's nutty. That's nutty. The other thing they're saying is that their burn rate hits an all-time low. ETH's supply is growing at 0.76%. So what does that mean? Well, burning is part of the tokenomics during each transactions and things of that sort. So essentially what that is, just my knee-jerk reaction to seeing that stat right there, right? That over there, is that there's less transactions happening, which is not necessarily awesome for ETH. We do have those 2 upgrades coming soon. We do have those 2 upgrades. One of them's like Haleski and something else. I don't remember what it is. We'll have to upgrade our validators at Wolfer Finance for it. But in any case, that's one thing that we are seeing on ETH right now. Let's see what else is going on. The ETH price. Yeah, this is what a lot of people are saying. ETH price to 1.2K. We're going to get into the chart and we're going to see why people are calling out 1.2K. That's like almost bear market lows of 2022, right? We bought our ETH at, what was it, 1150? That was like bear market lows. As proof of stake deflation ends with fees at all-time lows. Yeah. I mean, towards 1200. Retest key support level. Yeah, that's like a key support level from 2022. We are probably going to have to go to the daily chart to figure that out. Yeah, I mean, this is what's happening right now. Gold is pumping. Crypto and risk assets are dumping, right? What just happened? Okay. Something crazy is going on with my second screen over here. So if it's like, it's kind of a piece of crap, apparently. So this is what's happening. Gold is pumping, absolutely murdering it right now, right? And crypto is dumping. Look at this. Look at this ETH on the 1 hour chart. Boom, just fell out. The bottom of it just fell out, right? So we're going to get all this stuff off of the chart. What's the other thing they said? Yeah, final Pectra test before mainnet. Yeah, so we'll see if this helps at all, Pectra, the upgrade to the chain. But my guess is it's probably not going to do much because now you've got the market looking like this. Unfortunately, Bitcoin's got a ways to go down before. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to go down. I'm saying it's got a ways to go down. As you can see, ETH actually broke this pivot point line today. Boom, blasted, right? You would have made money on this long, but yeah, this is the short that we were talking about whenever we break this pivot point line. So, I mean, you could be in it right now or not, but, you know, whatever. So let's get rid of some of this stuff. We know we broke that pivot point. That sucks. I want to look at what's overarching happening on ETH. I mean, you're still in this downward parallel. And that downward parallel can take you down to about $1,500, right? That's a pretty key level of support. And my level of support is at about 1150, which is literally where we bought in 2022. I think everybody's going to be pissed if ETH goes to 1200. We'll just put it like that. I think the whole market is going to be pissed if ETH goes to 1200, right? So I mean, this just, for lack of a better word, just does not look awesome, right? I like that pivot point. I'm going to leave that. Where's that saved? Pivot point. Okay, we're just going to go to the daily chart on this. I want to see what's happening on the daily. Yeah, I mean, look at that pivot point, man. This almost looks like a double top. Yeah, it looks a lot like a double top, actually. Double top. Double top. Could be. But in my opinion, you could come right back down here, right, to $1,500 and blast, right, and get a nice double bottom, big ass double bottom. But in the same sense, you could also see what's called the MA pattern happen. There's your M, right? You come down here, you retest the A, and then you've got big downside, right? Big downside from there. But there's no way you're going to get down that low, is my point. But, I mean, I'm seeing, yeah, about $1,200. I mean, this is your low, right? This is your low. It's at about $1,150 to $1,200. That's worst case scenario. I think this is mid case scenario, right around 1,500, 1,550, or 1,350, my bad. And then best case scenario is you come down. You know, obviously, best case scenario is you just bounce, right? But worst case scenario is you come down here, you hit that 1550, you catch your mounts, ETH gets its legs, altcoin season starts, and that's that. You know, and to be honest with you, the rest of the market is going to continue to look like this when Bitcoin looks like this, right? When Bitcoin looks like this, right? And it's just the rest of the market's going to look like that. So Bitcoin is in a macro downtrend right now. Not micro, macro now, okay? High, low, right? higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, even here, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low to that $73,600 range, which is the old all-time high. That's where I see the market could be potentially going before we catch our legs, right? And you could even see it come down to here, right? The bottom end of this demand zone, right? Right around there. Okay. And as you can see, this is where that first line in the sand is 73.6, right? Then you could see it down all the way to 76K. And then guess what? Right there. You're looking at about 49K, unfortunately. And I mean, it could even come down to, I don't think it would go down to 45 before it catches a bounce, but I mean, maybe 49K. I'm not saying that it will, but that's what's possible if you lose these levels, right? So if you do indeed set another lower low here, set a lower high, lower low, see what I'm saying? You start legging down. So the market's not necessarily like what I would call super bullish right now. If you're long on gold, I mean, you're super bullish right now. But if you're long on Bitcoin right now, I mean, I just took a profitable short trade from 88,000 to 85. And I mean, let's be real. Trump keeps talking about these tariffs. This stuff's gonna keep going down, right? Yeah. Let's see what Travis Kelly's saying. Your analysis is right. However, it may go here, but I don't think so. Record amounts of ETH have been sold off exchanges. BlackRock's buying all the BTC they can. So I think this is a fake out. Dude, 100%. It could be absolute manipulation, right? These guys they don't want to buy Bitcoin up here. If I'm BlackRock, why would I buy Bitcoin at 109 when I could buy it at 75, right? You're absolutely correct, my friend. 110%. It's just how low do they want to buy it, right? That's the key point, because people like us, we don't control anything. We don't have enough money to control the markets. So here's the other thing. Bitcoin is traded on the CME now, right? Guess what else is traded on the CME? ETH, right? What else just got approved to get traded on the CME? Solana, XRP. The more that these start to get traded on those larger, let's call them regular financial market exchanges, right? Like the CME. What's a bear moon? Educate me. The bull market that isn't hitting right now. I'm rather happy with so much of my assets locked up. Yeah, that way you can't sell, right? Like that way you can't sell. I honestly, dude, like if you're in it for the long term, like your portfolio is going to go up. Like, I mean, these are great. Even as it sits right now, like Polygon's at 20 cents, man. S tokens at 54 cents. I mean, this one's held up actually pretty decently comparatively. Avalanche, probably 20 bucks, right? 20 bucks. Avalanche at 20 bucks. ETH at 18.50. Look at Pancake, Swap, Cake tokens at almost $2, right? I mean, look at this thing for the year. It was at $4.80 when we started the year off. It's down 50% in 3 months. So, I mean, in any case, you're holding long term, like Wolfer is, like a lot of investors are. You're going to be fine here. But my point is that the more that they move these assets to traditional markets, and this is what I've been preaching. I've been preaching this for a very long time, and I know people can back me up on this. Everybody was super bullish back here. Oh, ETFs, blah, 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 blah. And I think I was one of the only people that was like, yo, ETFs are not good. They're not good. Not for crypto. Why, Drew? How, Sway? Dude, what is going on with my screen? And now it has turned off. Now it's turned back. I don't know what's going on. Is it Lux Algo, Travis? Moon phases? Or is it just this regular one? Well, let's look at Lux Algo. What the hell? I got to clean my whole chart off to be able to look at this. Okay. Yeah, moon, sell. Let's backtest it. Okay, so it says buy here, close the entry of order. Dude, this thing looks wild. This is a crazy looking indicator, dog. It's very well laid out, right? This is telling you short, right? This thing ain't right. This thing ain't right every time. What are you talking about, dude? You gotten wrecked. Unless you close the short out in a day. This didn't even print. This thing can't print until this candle closes. So if you would have shorted here, dude, you'd have gotten murdered, right? If you would have longed here, yeah, you would have got some money. But guess what? By the time it told you to close, you're back at break even and you've lost money. I don't like this thing. Short here, yeah, you would have had to close in 1-2 days. By the time it told you to close, you're at a loss. Yeah, like, be very leery. Be very leery of indicators like this. Like, just know when to take profit, man. Because this thing told you to short here, and you got murdered. It immediately reversed on you, right? Dude, I mean, I would like hit the reverse Kramer on this. If this thing's telling me to short, I'm a long. If this thing's telling me long, I'm a short. This thing's crazy. You would have had to wait so long, right? You'd have had to wait so long. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let me see. Let's look at the other one. See if that is the one that you're talking about. Put that one on the chart. Let's see on the hour chart what this thing looks like. Yeah, I mean, it was right here. It was definitely right here. Yeah, it was right there to the tune of 4%. This one would have wrecked you for sure. Went the totally opposite way. This one would have been awesome, right? This one would have wrecked you for sure. You'd have bought here. You'd have got stopped out. So nasty. Moved 5K in the opposite direction. Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah. Sorry. I apologize, everybody. I got off track. I like looking at other indicators and seeing what people use for a reason, right? In any case, let's get this off of my chart. If we retrace this fib, it's basically calling for us to potentially come back up here to, about the 0.618 to 86.8. I think I actually have a short position that I want to open there. I've got an order in right there. But in any case, I mean, when you see ETH getting murdered like it is, Here's the thing. I'm not super bearish on ETH right now. And there's a reason. And it's because we're still just in this same friggin' parallel that we've been in since the highs of this range, right? I guarantee you we had a bearish divergence here, right? Let's zoom in. Higher highs on price. No, it's the same highs. Wait, where's it at? There we go. Yeah, bearish divergence. Boom, right? From this high to this high, barely, but, you know, bearish divergence, big sell-off, profit taking, you know, profit taking 101. I'm not super bearish on ETH unless we get under 1550, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's after a year. Like anybody that bought shares during the CF, it's like after, it's like I can't tell you. I don't know. Like what day did they buy? What time did they buy? I have no idea. Right. So anybody that is, that has the shares from the CF, right? The digital security tokens, they will be able to sell after a year, 365 days. For the TWFs, I don't know if they'll ever be able to do that, right? Because we need to stay in compliance, and I'm not going to let squeaky wheels that just want to talk crap basically take us out of compliance. So until we get to where the digital securities can do their thing, I'm not going to do anything with the TWFs. It's not worth the time commitment. And the lawyers, right? How much they cost, ridiculous amounts of money. People know that Wolfer's a very long-term play. They can either make peace with that or not, is the way I look at it. Now, let's see if there's a bullish divergence here, right? No, that would be a... I doubt that there is. And if there is, it probably already played out. And there's not even a bullish divergence. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like if Bitcoin keeps going down, ETH's probably going to hit 1550. It's going to be a good buying opportunity. In any case, let's look at Avalanche. I want to look at Avalanche really quick and just see what's going on with that. There's not a lot of news in the market right now, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, if you'd have taken that Avalanche trade, dude, you would have friggin' killed it. The Avalanche trade I gave a while back, dude, you would have absolutely murdered it. Look at that. You would never have even come close to being stopped out, ever, right? You'd have come all the way up here. You'd have made so much money. I mean, I'm not bearish on Avalanche until it drops below about 1560. I'm not bearish on, let's see. We're going to have to look at FTM because it's got like, that's just what it is. I mean, as it sits, dude, like as much as people are bearish, like I'm not bearish on FTM until it drops below 48 cents, 45 cents. I'm not super worried right now, to be 100% real with you. I don't think any of this is super worrisome right this second. I think it sucks. You know, people are like, you know, it is what it is, but you know, like, are we all gonna die? No. Flux is wrecked. Got an upward sloping parallel here. Whew. Yeah, I mean, we need to find a better chart on Flux. We probably need to go to like Binance or something. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, full retrace almost on this. Like, put it on the daily chart. I mean, if anything is bearish, it's Flux, but I don't really see Flux as being super bearish here. I see it as being a really good buying opportunity for people, right? It's kind of bottomed out here, you know. So do with that information whatever you want, but I don't know if it's really worth it to be super bearish on the market right now. Whenever everybody else is bearish, like that's when I'm bullish, right? So I'm gonna take, you know, shorts and make money and stuff, but doesn't necessarily mean I'm bearish. Yeah, I mean, Flux is in a falling wedge. This thing looks prime for a breakout, to be honest with you. I mean, it's pretty darn good. Yeah, I wouldn't be super worried about this in any case. Yeah. Yeah, and then Avalanche has their ETF application. Not that I care about that because I honestly don't think that's bullish at all. Look, here's the thing about these traditional financial instruments, right? If people are bullish on ETFs, they're bullish for the wrong reasons. I don't think they understand economics, right? So the ETFs, they don't actually bring in any volume to the actual cryptocurrency market, right? That's the problem. That's the inherent issue that lies with these ETFs, with trading on the CMEs and stuff like that, because you're trading in actual trading of Bitcoin, actual trading of ETH, actual trading of Solana for paper trading of it, basically on these like paper contracts similar to stocks. Okay. So the beauty of blockchain was that volume would come in on these coins when people would trade them and transactions would happen, right? When you go and you buy something on a DEX, a transaction happens, right? When you go and do it on centralized exchanges, a transaction happens, but there's not actually a blockchain transaction. Whereas on DEXs, there's a blockchain transaction. If I send you 50 Bitcoin, there's a blockchain transaction, right? But when you go and buy an ETF, shares for a Bitcoin ETF, ETH, Avalanche, whatever, right? XRP, Solana, there's no blockchain transaction, man. There's no volume, right? So if people are trading them outside of this market, it's not good for us, okay? So just keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about whether or not the ETFs, the CME listings, and things of that sort are actually bullish, because in my opinion, they're not. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm not super bearish on the market right now. I know everybody else is, but again, like, I mean, let's just look at the fear and greed index. I mean, this stuff is crazy. Fear. Fear. You get down here to extreme fear, buy everything. I'm pretty sure we were here just a second ago. Yep. When was that? On the 10th? Look at that. That thing pumped 16%, and you're still at pretty decent fear, right? So, yeah, I mean, just think about that, you know. We'll see. And up here, you know, again, back in, you know, the 27th, the 20th of, you know, November, where were we? Where's 20th of November? Extreme greed. Boom. You got a nice pull down. Bam. 10%, right? Pretty crazy, man. What was this? This was 11/16. When was this? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when people are fearful, you should usually be buying. You should usually be bullish. So with that being said, hopefully we'll see what happens over the weekend. But one thing I can tell you for sure, this is not good right here. Losing that 200 moving average, which is this green line, that ain't good. That ain't good. So we'll see how it plays out over the weekend. Weekends are usually really terrible volume. So, we'll see what happens. But with that being said, I appreciate everybody for showing up. I will see you in the next stream. Everybody have a good #Friday Pie Day with their beautiful families, and I will see you all soon. Peace.